I've had requests for updates on Operation Nightingale. If you don't know what Operation Nightingale is, I have a whole playlist on my TikTok. But basically, it was an undercover investigation by the Department of Justice alleging that numerous South Florida nursing schools and programs sold fake degrees and that students never attended class or clinicals. They bought fake transcripts, fake degrees. So about 5,000 almost were alleged to have bought these fake degrees. And somehow, some way, 2,800 of them managed to pass their NCLEX. So right now there's a little over 20 defendants that have been convicted or pled guilty to participating in this, and there's a lot more to come. Now, the information has been pretty quiet. It's been hard to get any updates on Operation Nightingale for a while now, which is concerning, right? Why is it being so hush-hush? I think we all know why, right? Because hospitals and healthcare facilities were inevitably implicated in these, right? Why did they not check any credentials? They must have known that there were unsafe nurses working there, And so now we get very little information. What I can tell you is they're all kind of turning on each other, like the people that were behind the scenes selling the degrees. So one, by the name of Napoleon, admitted that she had earned $3.2 million herself personally from the sale of the fake diplomas, was sentenced to 21 months in prison on a wire fraud charge, but hasn't started serving the sentence yet because she's waiting to testify against one of the other co-conspirators. And then another one of them, in 2022, he agreed to plead guilty to a charge of wire fraud, but have since his records have been completely sealed. So it's getting a little suspicious. There are still a lot of individual states that we haven't heard a single word from about Operation Nightingale. And I doubt there are any that didn't have at least one fake nurse there, right? It seems to be pretty widespread. But I was able to get some information from Iowa recently because Iowa is one of the states that these fake students, fake nurses were encouraged to apply for a license in because apparently they have a really low threshold of scrutiny in Iowa and unlimited NCLEX testing attempts. So there's a lot in Iowa. One, for example, by the name of Mamie, she passed the NCLEX, was given an LPN license in 2019. And then just a couple of months ago, the Iowa Board of Nursing found her guilty of fraud by falsifying her application, credentials, and other records. She, for 4 years, was consistently written up by the rehab and SNF that she worked for ongoing medication errors, poor patient assessments, and poor documentation. You don't say. Perhaps because she's not really a nurse and never learned anything, right? And since there's such low scrutiny apparently in Iowa, I'm sure that the way that some of these people were passing the NCLEX was by paying others to take it for them, right? And so in this case, she's not having it. She is actually currently seeking judicial review of the Iowa Board of Nursing's decision that found her guilty and removed her license. So when she was interviewed, and this is how a lot of the cases have gone, she couldn't name a single instructor or classmate from the nursing school that she supposedly attended. Couldn't name a single teacher or student there. But insists she went to school. Insists, right? She also had a bunch of nonsensical answers. They asked her specific things and she just was not even relating her answers to the questions. She couldn't even speak anything about what she allegedly did there as a student. but is insisting that she's a real nurse. Like I said, there's a bunch in Iowa. There was one who actually admitted to it, isn't fighting it, which is frankly refreshing. Admitted to buying the transcripts and the diplomas as a shortcut to completing his education. This one took the LPN and NCLEX twice until they passed, and then went on to take the RN and NCLEX 4 times before he passed. So had purchased 2 separate fake nursing degrees, and then went on to work at an assisted living and nursing home for some years before he was caught and admitted. So, remember when the story broke and everyone was like, these are, people that have been taken advantage of. They didn't know that they were buying fake transcripts. And I kept saying, yes, they did. Absolutely, they did. Well, guess what? They're now admitting to it.